That was awesome.
Yeah.
Hello, and welcome to the Legion of Memers live stream, the meme stream, episode 6. Very, very special episode. This is the first time we were having guests on. So big thank you to Culture Casino and Marc the Cyborg for coming on. What we're going to do is we're going to introduce them first because they are the most important parts of the show today. So let's go to Culture Casino. Give a little intro of yourself so people who don't know you will get to know you.
Well, I'm Culture Casino. I got a YouTube channel. I've got a couple. Actually, I've got 3 YouTube channels. 4. I got 4 YouTube channels. I'm on Minds. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Odyssey. I'm on Getter. I'm on Rumble. I'm in a lot of places. You probably know me as Culture Casino at all of those places. That's because that's what I am. And I just want to say thanks for the invitation. Pretty stoked. If you're interested in pop culture and entertainment news from a business perspective, that's what I do on my channel. So check me out. I'm not always $8 Casino, but $8 Culture Casino is he's verified on Twitter now. But, I'm glad to be here, guys.
We're glad to have you, mate. And Marc the Cyborg.
Hey everybody, I'm Marc the Cyborg. I make YouTube videos, I suppose, from time to time, but mine take a while. So if you want to see me on a more regular basis, you can find me on Rumble mostly, because I've been doing streaming over there, collecting feedback for their gaming streaming service. So I'm not actually streaming right now. I'm just making my way through God of War Ragnarok's side mission because I'm on the highest difficulty. So you got to do a lot of the side stuff or else you're going to get smoked. And so I'll be fiddling around doing that. And after the show, you guys can probably find me on Rumble later tonight or tomorrow, depending on how my night after the show goes. I might be having some family time.
Is that what you call it? Family time?
We're married. We are family.
Isn't that the end goal?
I think we already have a family, man. I'm married. I've got two puppies. They're cute. You know, love them.
I thought it was more than 2 puppies.
Oh, it's only 2. I mean, 2, yeah, 2, and 4 total.
All their links are in the description. So if you guys follow them on Twitter, get notifications that way. Go follow them on YouTube. Turn on the bell button so you get notified because we watch these guys all the time and we hop in and out with the meming. So let's get started introducing the Legion of Memers. There are a lot of us here tonight. We all wanted to be on. What's going on here? We all wanted to be on to say hi to our guests. So let's just start with the Rogue Attraction.
Hi. Hi, how are you doing? I am the Rogue Attraction, part of Geeks and Gamers. A small part, but a part. Thank you for having me. I know it's last minute, but hey, I'm here. And Culture Casino, was a pleasure seeing you in the meetup as well as you, Marc the Cyborg. And I echo both statements. Wish there was more time.
Oh yeah,
it just seems like everything was so quick.
Indeed.
Hey, they'll keep happening though, man. There'll be more.
Yeah.
I hear there's something going on in Arizona at some point in 2023.
First quarter is what no dates, but first quarter is what I hear.
Be thinking. All right, let's keep an eye out for how much a flight to Arizona from where I am costs and how much you should set aside for
that's in
2023.
That was a good thing about this one. I just needed to worry about gas.
Being attacked by a little fox.
Oh.
Dermy, let's introduce you.
Hi, all. I'm DermyWermy. I'm still recovering from my 24-hour stream of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which I have a few rants later in the stream we can get into. And I just thought, I'll bring back my luscious locks to try to compete with Culture.
It looks good. I like it. I don't dye my hair at all. I just let it go all natural. But if I could get away with red, I think that's a brilliant, or orange, I guess. In this case.
Dermy, I'm glad you are accepting your truth. I'm just glad you're accepting your truth. And when this process is done, we will be here with open arms for you. I just want you to know that.
The Legion of Memers is very accepting.
We don't judge.
Switch over to video game because I found a dragon.
Ooh.
I'm on the highest difficulty though, so understand I'm probably gonna get fucked up.
Horny Alf, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks, Nogreenrocks. So yeah, Horny Owl, you find me on Twitter, making memes all over the Fellowship. And it's an honor to be on stream with Marc and Casino Culture. I think I've been watching you for about a year and a half. I discovered the Fellowship right after Gina got fired. So I've been kind of lurking in your shows and tweeting. Yeah, happy to be here.
I appreciate that. It's great to finally see you on screen. I always look forward to meeting everybody in person. So hopefully that can happen one day. Wow. Okay. I got to stop imitating Drunk. I'll get in trouble. But I can't wait to meet you all. So yeah, if we can all get together and at the Arizona meetup, the California meetup, the Vegas meetup, the Orlando meetup, whatever, if you can find your way somewhere, decent chance I'll be there, including Texas.
Yeah, I know. I'm about 5 hours from Dallas, so if they do another Dallas meetup, I'd like to be there.
It was great.
I'd be surprised if they're at Anime Mystery again.
I'd love to go to Dallas. Yeah, Texas is like my favorite place in the States, man.
It is. It is fast becoming one of my favorites. Between Texas and Florida, I'm kind of torn right now. So we'll see what happens. So, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the introductions. I'm going to go back to pretending to be drunk 3 p.m.
No worries, man. True Pop Culture, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, hello there. I'm True Pop, the editor of the intro you just saw, here to laugh and think about pop culture stupidity. So, thanks Superman for having me on, and welcome to our treasured guests, Culture Casino and Marc the CYBORG.
Oh, sorry, no, I didn't. That wasn't a grunt at you. It was because I was. Thank you, though. I appreciate the hospitality. See, that's why it's good that I have the gameplay up, because you guys at least have the context of what I was dealing with.
Hey, you just died.
I know. That's why I was like, but it was right when someone's like, "Yeah, man, thanks for being here with us," and I was like, "Oh, no, I heard you," and I was happy about what you said. I wasn't.
God, that Teddy Ruxpin's jerking off in culture's thing.
I understand, Mac. I mean, you'll die like 56 times, but the 57th, you'll make it.
Well, that's the thing, because I really want to finish this game this weekend. I don't want to leave a bunch of side content on the table, so I kind of can't waste any time. And I'm pretty good at talking while I'm playing games, so aside from the odd grunt.
Well, right. All evidence to the contrary so far, bro.
I'm going to ask Marc, Modern Warfare 2 or God of War Ragnarok, which is taking.
I have not played Modern Warfare 2, so
no
for me. No, I haven't touched it. I even have Darktide, Warhammer 40k Darktide installed on my computer right now because the pre-order beta started, which is basically just early access if you pre-order it. And honestly, I was betting God of War was going to be delayed. So I kind of thought Darktide was the only game I was going to really even buy this year. So I pre-ordered it in January and didn't even remember it. So it was pretty sweet when I found it's like, okay, not only do you not have to pay any money for it, you can play it right now.
Well, you did pay money for it.
My point is, though, I haven't even played it yet because I've just been busy with God of War. Because the difficulty I'm playing on demands a lot of adaptation, like learning and... Oh God!
I mean, considering COVID and everything, it's it released on time, which is an incredible surprise. I mean, for sure, it logically be delayed like any other game.
Yeah, but I think I'm writing a video on it right now, and I think that they made a good decision just kind of building on the previous game and making more of an additive sequel, kind of actually similar in some ways to what Elden Ring is to the Dark Souls games, where it's they didn't start from scratch. They're working with a lot of what they already had that was effective and building on it. And I think delivering something that is ultimately better, although I say better and not knowing how the story ends quite yet. Rocky, be a good punch.
I'm not gonna say anything.
I'm at the point that I'm tying up side quests. I can go. Well, I mean, you guys know it's probably going to end up in Asgard, right? I don't think that's much of a spoiler. I can go to Asgard whenever. I just haven't been there yet.
Soldier Spirit, you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, I'm just happy to be here. I got stopped being a boomer. I got my camera working this time. I appreciate. I love the intro. That was absolutely amazing seeing that setup. I'm happy to be here with our guests, and especially the one and only Marc the Cyborg's leg is in the chat.
Woohoo!
Hey,
hey, buddy, love you. Can't go to work without you though. Can't. Oh, well, I mean, I guess yeah. Actually, you're the reason I have to go to work. I hate you.
Wow.
Tell him to take a vacation. Let you stay home, smoke, and yeah. All right, yeah, but hey, I'm looking forward to you guys.
CJP.
Hubby.
Someone sounds angry in the background. But no, yeah, CJP, ForgottenOneMusic. You can find me on YouTube. I actually discovered the Fellowship a couple years ago, just before Gina's firing. So that's kind of where I came in and just started doing memes for FNT, and then it just built from there. And I'm glad to be on with Culture and Marc, and just getting to roast Hollywood and make them look like the shitheads that they are.
Ooh, all right. Well, thank you for
they
that.
They are shitheads.
Yeah, no lie there.
Oculus, go ahead.
Yep, my name is Oculus, the MCU exposer, member of the Legion of Memers, the God Killer, and architect of the Lego universe. And I am very excited just to meet with Culture Casino, or otherwise known as Emperor Tamarin Culture, with his sexy, cute facial beard. And I'm going to admit myself, I have a funny voice, and I'll name myself It's a Gundam's knockoff. I'm his knockoff from now on.
You're not Wish Gundam?
No, the Chinese people messed up our version of Gundam, so.
I'm the knockoff of It's a Gundam, and I'm proud of being a knockoff.
Well, this what happens when you order for Gundam from New Jersey.
Agreed.
And I wanted to thank everybody in chat. We actually had somebody in here who was first before anybody else. Culture Casino, congratulations on getting the first comment in there. We got Cecil, excuse me.
That's C Hoodie. Don't pay him any attention.
And Phil in the chat, Skirmitar. We got Eric. And yes, we got Marc the Cyborg's leg in here hanging out. Thanks for coming in. Pop Culture Dinosaur, Trucker Rob.
Look at that. Holy cow.
Clinton, wow, the chat's blowing up, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cher, for helping us mod.
Yeah, thank you for helping. Big shout out to the mods who are helping me with my job. I very, very much appreciate it. There's a nice outro video for you because I love you guys. Thank you. Sherry is in the chat.
Another Legion of Memer.
Yes, a very good one. She's been killing it. Absolutely killing it.
Yeah.
And let's see. We got Adam, NewsLad, who a lot of the Legion is just hanging out in the chat because I don't have enough space for them here. So thank you guys.
It might be getting too big for our britches.
Yeah, right. I'm sitting here trying to juggle it like an idiot. We got BJ. Wow. Tina, thank you for coming in. Appreciate you. And if I missed anybody, I'm so sorry.
I cannot believe how busy the chat is. I also can't believe that you actually almost managed to have longer introductions than FNT today.
Oh, yeah. This is the first time in a while that we did that.
Usually that's short and sweet.
Sun Seuss Ghost in here. Hey, bud. I love you, bro. Sean's in the chat. And I think we are caught up. Thank God. My name is Superman if he wasn't scared of green rocks, or Nogreenrocks for short. I am the creator and founder of the Legion of Memers, and I just wanted to thank everybody for all the support that we've been getting. Honestly, it's been making me want to go harder, go faster, and do better. So I appreciate all of you. We got Kenzo in the chat as well. And so thank you all for being here. I appreciate you again. And during the show, don't forget to If you're going to make any memes, put it in this thread right here. And that way we can see everything. I just wanted to go over a few of them before we start the show, just so you guys can have a little laugh right here.
Oh, my.
This was specially made for Marc the Cyborg right here.
Oh, great.
Extra girls here, too.
That's that family time you're talking about.
Oh my god!
I mean, where's the lie?
There goes that family time.
This is, wow.
You like that? You like that, young lady?
I'm more tan than that.
Hey, Rocky.
I hate you guys.
And that's the last time we ever heard from Marc the Cyborg.
Rocky doesn't like it.
Does X-Ray Girl think that she can actually talk into the headphones and people can hear her better?
Like, that's what I was telling her. I was like,
if the mic's over here, dear.
She's screaming in his ear the whole time.
This
It's
is so
amazing
good.
how she came on
That's
right
what you
at
get
that
for
exact
calling us
moment.
Legion of Members.
Yeah. I can actually do that.
That was good timing.
Wow.
Wrong leg, though. I have
Andy Masterson, where
that was
are
the
you? We
right
have
one.
a next action figure design.
You're going to have to paint that red or something, dude. Be 25% different.
Yeah. I don't know. I could just like
All
wrap
new,
a
all different.
towel around this or something.
Oh, man.
I can
Thank
be
you.
25% different by just wearing long pants.
Wow. Well, I can see why all the dudes are kind of spooked because they're looking up that skirt and they're like, whoa.
50 foot thick.
Surprise!
Well, you haven't seen anything.
Is that really small people, or I'm just curious because you said
See,
a
now I think a
50-foot dick.
50-foot dick, that would be a real monkey's paw situation, man. Like, if you could be like, hey, I wish I had a really big dick. It's like, boom. Oh,
You need
mean,
enough
like,
blood, though. Too.
I didn't mean like 50 feet. It's like, well, I mean, you didn't specify.
Like,
So.
I just don't know where.
Yeah, it's like, just so you know, you might as well not have one because that's not getting into anything.
It's a bigger target now, obviously. So,
Wow.
Where there's
This
a
makes
will,
me
there's a
think of
way.
The old joke. Guy walks into a bar and there's a guy at the piano, but he's not actually playing. And as he looks around him, there's this foot-tall guy jumping around on the piano. And he goes, "Wow, that's amazing! Where did you get that?" He goes, "Oh, well, there's a genie out in the trash can in front of the bar. You know, if you rub the trash can, it'll give you a wish." About 15 minutes later, the guy runs in, panicked, and just this mass of ducks just come in flying behind him. He goes, "I thought you said there was a genie in there. I wish for $1 million, and this is what I got." And he goes, "Oh, well, he's got a hearing problem. You don't think I asked for a 12-inch pianist, do you?"
Culture, how'd you get that makeup on your eyes there? You look
I don't know, but
amazing.
this looks amazing. I feel like I'm gonna be in the next Bond film or something.
On Culture Boss gave him a hand with the makeup.
My headphones got yanked out.
You got to be in Xanadu, don't you?
Puppies.
Look at that.
I do apologize. I did say I was going to be here short. I just wanted to pop in, say hi to Culture, say hi to Marc.
It's good to
let
see
some
you.
other Legion of Memers come in that need more time. I have to get to SeaWorld to film Christmas stuff.
All right.
For Park Hoppin', so all of y'all have.
Well,
SeaWorld has all the old classic claymation like Rudolph, Bumble, and Yukon Cornelius from those like CBS holiday specials back in the day, the claymation stuff. So SeaWorld actually does a really good Christmas. It doesn't cost any extra, and they do like hot chocolate trail and stuff like that. It's fun.
Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's the best time of the year.
Yep. Actually, I was surprised that song was copy claimed and blocked in 5 countries by Russia. I had it on a stream the other day. And he's like, "Your video can't be played in these 7 countries." I'm like, "What?" I'm pretty sure that's copyright free right now. Like, it's way out of like any type of rights thing. It's like, oh, Russia bought it. I'm like, wait, Russia in general, like the country? That's what YouTube said. I'm like, okay. They bought Holly Jolly Christmas.
Russians have no Christmas spirit.
I don't know. But I'm going to head out of here. Let somebody else pop in. Culture pleasure. As always. And Marc Cyborg, enjoy throwing spears at dragons.
Yeah.
Oh, it's never a bad time when you're throwing spears at dragons.
All right.
I'm pretty sure that's an innuendo in there somewhere. Hey. But later, everyone. Bye.
Later.
Later.
Now. So let's get back to the memes to start the show. I can't play this one because of the music, unfortunately. But use your imagination.
I don't think you need music for context. Let's get it on. Let's get it on.
Wow.
Jeremy Rance is back.
It's looking nicer.
Wow.
It really enjoys
I've accepted it
so much.
I've accepted it.
Oh man, my ears. I'm sorry, everybody watching.
I don't think you have your audio shared, and we're accepting that.
You're the only one enjoying the pain. Oh, thank God.
Oh. Jeez.
Jesus Christ.
Easy casino to do it.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh man. Whoa, this is uncomfortable.
Why are you hanging Legion Brain?
Take a look at the batting, bitch. Banging. Damn, Radimus. Now, does Danielle know that you like to go both ways, or how does that work? Oh, sweet victory. Good job, asshole.
The fuck just happened there?
You guys never seen Waiting?
Yeah.
Great movie.
God.
I don't think that's very encouraging to see it.
Bimbo's a symbol.
This was a great meme from last night, I think, right?
Yeah, I think it was.
Oh yeah, I really want Bimbo's Assemble to happen.
Yes, Ekricata.
Echo.
Yeah. I hear it as well, which means
it's our lovely leader. It's because Nogreenrocks runs off.
It's because I have to turn on the sound and off the sound. So
yeah, I got to meet Brittany and Chrissy in Orlando though, and they're both really cool. Like all the Simcast people were, especially like Lila Hart is like the sweetest person. You guys know her?
Yeah, she's pretty awesome.
Yeah, she's very, very sweet in person.
I love watching their stand up too. It always cracks me up.
Yeah.
I would say this, and I know Mark, you probably have had similar experiences. I've yet to meet someone who's like a complete, turkey, in the fellowship. Everybody that I've met at every single one of these meetups has been it's been a great pleasure. I've enjoyed every moment of it. That's why I keep promoting it, saying everybody needs to go.
Come on, everyone knows Ryan Kindle's an asshole.
No, he's not.
No, like Ryan's a lot more chilled out in person.
I hear he's a hugger.
I decided his name needs to be a verb. Like, Eric July had a tweet about his food getting messed up. And I said, "Oh, so they kindled it?"
Yeah.
Oh
my goodness!
Riding into the.
Whose mic is that?
I'm muted, so it's not me.
I think it's Cloud.
Yeah, I had to mute you, Cloud. Sorry, man.
That's weird.
I still have growling puppies over here.
Ooh.
Wait, now I'm not muted. Crap! I'm not muted, and I'm fighting a dragon. Sorry.
I'm at a loss for words here. Well done, Oculus.
Away!
I think his experience. I wish you would have put that in there for the audio.
Wow. Wow.
What am I even looking at right now?
You have a very different idea of Western movies,
That's pretty cool, man.
That is really amazing.
Yeah, I saw that earlier before the stream.
So is culture trying to save us and Mark trying to ruin us, or?
I feel very Spider-Man like. I couldn't imagine Spider-Man had rocking a kind of beard like that, though. Oh, there you go.
It wouldn't really fit with the mask.
God, the schmat does. What the schmatter with you?
As long as it's not schmegma, we're good.
See, why did X-Ray come into this one? She had to come in for that one.
That's amazing.
Ooh.
Well, she's about to start her own stream, so I think that's why she didn't hang out for longer.
Yeah, no, it's all good, man. I just that's pretty. The timing of that was fantastic.
You couldn't even do that if you tried.
There you go.
Yeah, I saw this one earlier.
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
There's always
you see
one,
what
Derby.
I've
There's always
accepted
one.
in my life. No, there's more than one. Don't worry.
Wow.
Sight to behold.
Jeez, there's so many memes.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out why Arc's in that.
Whoa.
Whoa.
At least I got a nice rack.
$100 because of the games you did a 3-fitted job.
Nice rack.
Jerry, for crying out loud, why did you
Thank
put me
you.
as one of the girls?
I'm rocking a rack
Culture,
like nobody's business.
Shout out to Sherry.
Big culture, I think
Jeremy, there's shame with that rack.
Sherry, what is
I think Az would like to get to know you.
Marcus, I will pull your Kathy Griffin.
Oh no, I wouldn't do that. I have a much better sense of comedic timing than she does.
when you wish you were an only child?
Problem solved. My
God.
Oh no.
Somebody who has Lord of the Rings speak, read this because I'm not going to butcher the name.
I am not gay. I am best friends with Galadriel. Hang out with Galad. And I have sex with Celebrimbor.
I have news for you. That means you're gay.
I just realized I read that. And
Black guy impressions now, Oculus.
I got news for you. Your whole show is gay.
Yeah.
We got another one of the culture and his skivvies.
Oh jeez.
Oh my.
Welcome to the club.
That's
culture.
a really old
here we
picture
go.
of you. Holy shit.
Whoa!
Oh no!
Look at what I'm holding.
Oh crap!
You know that kind of height difference has some advantages, right, Mark?
Yeah, you know, there's there's some times where it pays off.
There you go.
I mean, you could easily get like a longer leg, so that easily, raises the height.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, I'm just
lot,
happy
but,
she's got two of them.
And while everybody is here, I figured we'd do something a little fun. The Quartering asked for us to have fun. So go to this picture on his Twitter and go make some memes. Be sure to tag the Legion of Memers and the Quartering and hashtag the Legion of Memers so we can pull up the work at the end of the show and see what you put out. Put it in our thread, and that way it'll be a lot easier for me to find. So go have some fun, guys. Now, what we're going to do is we're just going to talk about a few topics. I know Culture Casino is pretty in tune with the pop culture industry, and he knows a lot about what's going on with Black Panther 2. So we figured we'd bring that up because he knows quite a bit.
Well, we look at a lot of these numbers, and of course, this is a breakdown going back to Grace Randolph's video called Movie Math from about 5 days ago now. And interestingly enough, she discovered something that we'd all known all along, and that is that the interest in these films, was essentially shifting, not just overall, but also demographically. And you can see film to film what the audience representation looked like. And they essentially drove out, obviously, one particular demographic, specifically Caucasian, for the second film. And I think a lot of that has to do with the social media presence, the way it was advertised, et cetera, et cetera. But you can see that demographic shift in the audience isn't actually represented in the way that it had been presented by a lot of people, including Grace Randolph. All this means, because the other categories jumped, if you add those together, you can see that it just was the white audience didn't show up for the film, or the Caucasian audience, however you want to describe it. And Caucasian can be a lot of different things nowadays. So,
yeah, I mean, a lot of people are white and they're not actually from the Caucasus.
Yeah. So it's a really that was almost funny. It really was a shift. But this is even more dramatic than people are making it out to be, because these are just the demographic representations. If you look at the audience overall, the total number of butts in seats have completely fallen off the planet. John Kakuza, he's awesome, incredible photographer, great guy to hang out with. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it. John's awesome. But yeah, I have to say that it was very disappointing to learn that this film was falling off a cliff. I just did a short about it. Overall, we're watching this film underperform the original film release with exactly a 25% price increase across the board. So the fact that this still, even with that 25% price increase from the original film, this film is still underperforming the original box office. So they're putting 25% less people in seats, basically.
How many people on the panel have seen it?
I haven't, and I never will.
Yeah, no.
I suffered through it. It was so fucking awful.
Yeah, only Dermy watched
Not
it.
gonna do it.
Well, and
He's a racist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone here seen it? You're not a racist if you
have
haven't
not.
seen the film. Guys.
I was told not to go see it, so I just figured.
Oh,
okay.
I was
And it
told
worked.
not to go see it.
Literally, it
I was
worked.
told not to go see it, so it made me want to go see it. And
Yeah,
I did
I'm
go
kind
see it.
I'm cresting my apathy point with the MCU, and by that I don't mean that I think, oh, it's still good, and I think I'm starting to not care. I'm talking more about what Gary means. Have you ever heard Gary kind of mention that it's not when you're angry at it,
right,
that it's done. It's
That's
when
you no longer care.
you just no longer give a shit.
Yeah.
And hold on a second, I just disconnected my headphones, so I cannot hear you guys.
Yeah.
All right, but where I realized like 2 days ago that I was actually at the real apathy point with Star Wars, like the one where it's like I legit don't give a shit. Because I was going, oh, puppies, do you like wait till I unmute to start growling? Gosh, here, I'm taking the Chihuahua. Rocky, spicy little Mexican. He's a Chihuahua, so I don't know. But anyways, so when I was gonna sell some video games, like some old physical copies of games that I know I'm never gonna use again, and I wouldn't mind, investing in like more equipment and stuff to get this stuff going better. And X-Ray Girl and I are gonna maybe move in the next year and a half, so I figured I'll get rid of some stuff.
Are you moving stateside?
No. This is more me. I'm still in the military, so just if I move to a different base in like posting season 2024, so like April 2024 is when we might move. So it's a good chunk of time away from here, and it's not even 100%. But I kind of figured, I should get rid of some stuff just to make it easier to move around. But the point is, I'm holding my copy of Knights of the Old Republic on Xbox. Day one buy. I probably pre-ordered it at the EB Games down the street from my house, and I'm just like, I was like, looking at this, I like Knights of the Old Republic. I think it's a great game, but I'm just like, I'm now disconnected from my Star Wars fandom enough that I'm looking at my launch day copy of Knights of the Old Republic, and I'm just like, yep, that's going in the sell bin. Like if I want to play it again, I'm never going to play it. I guarantee you this right now. I am never going to play an on-disc version of the Xbox version of Knights of the Old Republic ever again. Like, because if I ever want to play the game, I'm going to play it on PC, play it on Nintendo Switch, even because actually the port that just came out is pretty decent, I hear. I'm not going to play it on an original Xbox hardware or even just backwards compatible mode. I'd probably play a better version. So I don't think I would have done that if I still thought there was a chance that Star Wars could come back and be something awesome. I also watched the first 7 or so episodes of Andor, thought it was pretty good, but I haven't seen the last 4 or 5, and I'm like, I kind of don't care though. Like I'm not like, man, I really need to see what's going on in Andor. That's Star Wars getting better. I'm like, there was a couple okay episodes of TV.
Do you reckon it's
I think
better than
the exact
the?
same thing. Anytime when I got about I think 3 episodes into Andor, and just like Ryan and them talk about it, it is really slow, but I still liked seeing the nostalgia, seeing the stormtroopers and everything else.
For me,
I
it was
enjoyed
just
seeing
more. I
that.
think Tony Gilroy is just good at making movies. Like I think that's what it is. It's just I'm watching this. It's like, yeah, this is all right.
Yeah,
But
it's just whenever
I think the people behind it are like they're actually trying, and it's a competent guy that's like steering the ship. So it can only be so bad, as long as it's not like absolutely destroying anything. And because it's dealing with primarily original characters, or with the non-original characters being like what Mon Mothma and Cassian Andor, who's been in one thing ever. So it's like,
Well,
it's not bad. But at the same
time,
point, like if it was good and I cared about Star Wars, even if it wasn't great, I would be watching every episode the day they come out.
But Mark,
I still can't forget it's Kathleen Kennedy running it all. That's
see that. Like I think even if they sold it to someone else, I'd still be like, well, release something, and then I'll tell you if I care about. Like if they came out and were like, hey, Disney Canon's done everything that happened from 2015 to now, forget about it. I'd be like, okay, that's a good start. But I think it's still like I'm not, as much as I like James Gunn, I'm still not like on board with the DCU at this point. I'm just like, okay, I like James Gunn. I like the things he's done with DC, but I'm not gonna get on like team until I see some good shit.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at.
Do you reckon the Andor is better than Mandalorian on the writing level? Or
ratings? Probably not. But as far as like
on a writing level.
I mean, season 1 of Mandalorian had its moments, but ultimately it did seem like a storyboard that someone made for an animated show, like a Saturday morning cartoon that they then like kind of shot in live action. Season 2 of Mandalorian seemed like spin-off set up the show. Like it was like, oh, now we're going to this planet to talk about to all the people who are going to be on the definitely gonna happen Rangers of the New Republic. Everybody, it's Gina Carano and Bill Burr, and it's like, and every episode was something like that. And it was getting kind of tedious to me, especially because it all felt very surface level. Boba Fett was the first thing. But the first one where I watched it, where I'm like, oh, this is just bad. This is Robert Rodriguez, who I think is another guy who I think is a pretty competent director. But this, I think what the problem is, we got Spy Kids Robert Rodriguez here, like, and not like From Dusk Till Dawn Robert Rodriguez. Right. Like it was him just being like, okay, I'll make a fucking kids thing with a bunch of CGI bullshit. And that doesn't make any sense.
I know. Hold on. True pop culture. Let culture.
Sorry.
So Mark, you're saying that not only you're saying that your apathy or your anger has turned into apathy for Star Wars, and you're on that same trajectory with the MCU. And
I think MCU, I've kind of crested that I think I might have got there earlier with MCU and just not really even realized it, because I have not watched a single episode of Hawkeye. I watched one episode of Loki. I seen Thor: Love and Thunder in the background while I was doing other stuff and was not impressed. But I was just at the point where like I don't really care if I see any of it. Like Spider-Man: No Way Home gave me a little bit of hope. I thought Multiverse of Madness was flat out the worst MCU movie. I think it's the worst Sam Raimi movie as well. Again, competent guy, but like I think that Andor's success, and its success like from a quality standpoint, stems from just that the script's not absolutely terrible, and they're not dealing with characters who they have to really worry about lore for, and that's pretty much.
And I agree with you 100%. In fact, I think directors that take on a Star Wars project or an MCU project now, that's when their credibility starts to take a hit, because it immediately they put out the worst thing they've ever done. And we're about to see that same thing happen with James Mangold in Indiana Jones 5.
Yeah. Well, and then you see like even Tarantino's kind of coming out like a couple days ago and made a statement kind of being like, yeah, I'm with Martin Scorsese, though this is not cinema. And like I honestly thought that because Scorsese said that around the time that like Civil War came out. And I was like, okay,
like, before Infinity
easy
War,
there, Grandpa. Like, come on, like Goodfellas is great and all, and like I think he consistently still makes very good movies. Like The Departed was incredible. I love Gangs of New York. Like I'm not going to talk shit about Scorsese, but I really disagreed with him at the time. But now it's just like, I mean,
it came off as really jealous. You know,
I can't argue with him now. And then like Tarantino was kind of just like, yeah, no, like I'm never going to make movies like that, like flat out ever. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's good. I think more directors should be like, yeah, Marvel movie directing it's hired gun work and it's career poison.
Like, yeah, well, and even consider this, and this is a fun thing to think about. They bring in absolute nobodies to do Disney Marvel TV.
Yeah, that they found in the streets. Of Compton.
Yeah. I mean, they are going Amazon tier level of creator. At the Disney Marvel product. They just don't know what to do with it. And again, the most recent, obviously, representation of that is Wakanda Forever, where the film made $425 million. It's probably going to rock about 700 to 750. It's not going to finish above 800 million. It will not make $1 billion, and it's already trending in exactly the opposite direction of something that would be successful. When you look at the numbers, and this is a site that myself and obviously Odin from OMB Reviews and many other people utilize the numbers because it does give you pretty decent numbers pretty quickly. This brown cone here is where this film should be. Look at where it's trending. This is the line that it's actually on. So if it stayed within the trend, it would be from here to here, but it's not. It's well below what the trend would be.
I'm going to predict.
Go ahead, Oculus.
Because here's the thing, like, I don't know what Sunday's numbers will look like, but even though, like, what would happen if this movie had like a 90% drop off? What would have happened then? It would probably be like the biggest Marvel failure ever if it may reach to that 90% drop off. It would be a huge disaster. And I don't know what would Bob Chapek will think of this. I mean, he has to fire this right now. I mean, he has to do something with this.
And it's
that worse.
You're 1,000% right. And again, when you look at the numbers, because this is the fall off right here. This is the fall off chart. This is the thing I look at and I go, this has no legs. We're looking at it because, okay, so preview night's 28 million. What most people don't know is the next number we're looking at is a combination of Thursday previews and Friday numbers. So that Friday number of 84 million is a combination of 2 days, right?
Oh.
And that's what most people, they mistake that. They look at that first day number, which is the preview number, but they don't realize that that's basically Friday numbers too. And so as you slide down, you had such a heavily front load that you were already headed into the negative by the time you hit Saturday. Saturday numbers, because of those additions, ended up at down 33%. Then you go down from that number down another 27%, and then the first Monday it's down 73%. When you look at the Tuesday bump, that's normal. That's the old people day, right? Senior discount day, right? So I'm getting pretty close where I'm going to take advantage of the $5 tickets there because I'm getting old. But you youngsters won't be doing that for a while. Then you go down to Wednesday, right? It doesn't look that bad, except it fell off 36%. Now that wouldn't look as atrocious, if you didn't have that bump on Tuesday. But then you get down to $7 million on Thursday, $7.5 million on Thursday, an 8% fall from the previous day. It's losing $500 to $600 to $700,000 a day minimum. Then you have this bump, but week over week, look at this number. Week over week, this $17 million is a 79% drop from the previous week. 75. It's 139% up. It made $10 million more dollars, but it is 79% down. And I anticipate that trend will be the case. And I believe they do too. And the reason that I believe that is because of this story. And then I'll stop talking because I think you guys will be intrigued. This story here from Deadline. This number keeps going up and down. So this was recently adjusted. This is down $4 million from what they said a day ago, that it would be a second weekend of $70 million plus dollars. This says 66 million. I think it's going to trend closer to 64, if not lower than that. And
I think it'll be 50. Sorry, Culture. I think it'll be like 50 million if this happens.
Well, you know what? It's feasible, but like I said, it's hard to say because in looking at the numbers we just looked at, as I scroll back down to them, over the course of the weekend, it did really well right in here, right? Including Thursday, it was $181 million. you get this big bump. It gets you to 238 in domestic. Now these are only domestic box office numbers, of course, but it gets you like that additional 18 million bucks that that going into the next day, which would be Saturday today. I think you're going to see a downward trend from the Saturday number, the $56 million number. I think you're going to see it sit around 30. And then I think Sunday's going to fall off a cliff. I think that anybody who wanted to see this because the film was so heavily front loaded has already seen it. And now you're going to get some repeat viewers and the stragglers. And that's it. And there's no competition in the box office, guys. I mean, it's like, you have She Said and The Menu. That's it.
Until you get
I've never even heard of them.
That sounds like a horrible Europop band.
Yeah. So
I did see one trailer for She Said, but I have no idea what it's about.
Probably I think Mark Ruffalo's sister is in it. That's
okay.
About all I know. I think.
Yeah, but it's going to have a 64% fall off. Originally projected at 70 million plus. It's getting. They think it's going to finish at 66. I think it's probably 64, but it's a 64% fall off at 66 million. That's bad news. And I have a feeling that it's going to be even worse. And there's no holiday. We don't have a holiday weekend to help support this thing. And
we have Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and it's trending behind Doctor Strange mom at this point. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking because I dominated the conversation, but I thought it was interesting, right?
And not only that, I mean, you have let me think, because who knows? I mean, I got something that Critical Jingo tweeted out that's kind of interesting. I don't even want to pull it up, but even like the normies are admitting, like, it's hard to review that movie that is like isn't good. Like, I got it from the private chat if you want to look.
Well, there was that black woman on, I think it was on either TikTok or Instagram, who got that whole video yeeted because she said it was bad.
TikTok, yeah.
Or TikTok, video, yeah. A black woman saying this movie was crap. She got her video.
Yep. Yeah, you're not allowed to say that. You got to stay on the.
Yeah, there it is. Why is it hard to say Wakanda Forever isn't good? That's an example of like Stans are realizing more and more that this is just shit. That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, and the people who are saying it is good, I guarantee, are the same people who are saying Joe Biden's a good president.
Yeah.
If Black Panther Wakanda Forever is performing so badly, how is Ant-Man Quantumania going to perform? I mean,
it's not going to perform at all.
Exactly.
I don't know.
These movies,
we've been continuing to see this trend.
Ant-Man's always been one of the lower performers, and without that, now that the MCU's in the shape it is, it's just going to do awful.
I guarantee this is how Disney hires their directors. Hi, how you doing? You want to direct a Disney Marvel project? Yeah, sure. Do you have any experience directing anything? No. Do you hate men? Yes. Hired.
No, that'll be in the casting couch. The casting couch is very important, like Harvey Weinstein did.
It's the SJW checklist. They have to check off those boxes, and it doesn't matter what their skills are, as long as they're a good activist, and that's all that matters.
On the topic of not having experience, right? Recently, Sony have announced their own Spider-Man shows. I know, terrible news. There's going to be a show based on the character called Silk. She's basically not a Spider-Woman, essentially. And I looked into the showrunner. She had so much experience with shows like Walking Dead and Terriers. But when you look at like a Disney Plus showrunner, they have next to no experience whatsoever. So it's hilarious to me that Sony hires someone very experienced, and Disney Plus, out of all the shows, out of all the money they have, hires complete nobodies to run the show. It's ridiculous.
And not only that, you got Amy Pascal running the show as well.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, and she's a piece of work.
She is what she is, but Disney's missing the boat across the board. They're actually counter programming their own film next weekend. They're introducing a new film to the marketplace called Strange World. Have you guys heard about Strange World?
I've heard something about it,
marketing. That's
Well,
right.
we've seen they're gonna have to
Culture
cut out for
Casino
China.
is gonna have a first gay character in it. Can you believe it? I mean, I
well,
can't
it's
wait.
not. It's not the first gay character per se. What it is they are introducing the first out gay teenager in a relationship in a kids movie. It's supposed and it's being fawned over, by the mainstream press. It's a very strange it's a very strange thing to go after when you have this family reputation that you've essentially destroyed over the course of the last couple of years. It's this this traditionally family friendly company has completely shifted gears, and that's fine. I mean, you can certainly do that, but you're going to lose giant chunks of market share, which they're not just doing in the cinema or on the Disney Plus or any of these other locations, or even at ESPN with their support of all the radical stuff there, but they're doing it also in their theme parks. They're now going to become so desperate because of the the macroeconomic conditions that we're in, and we're going to be in for quite some time. They're offering steep discounts to people to go to the theme parks in the coming year. From January onward, they're doing something I haven't seen in a long time, which is very steep discounts for the at park stays. And again, I wish Rogue Attraction was here because he'd be able to speak to that more directly. But this film coming out is counter programming to Wakanda, and it's going to continue. Hey, what's up, Sheep City? Good to see you, man. It's going to continue to devalue people's interest in Disney or push. I don't know if it's turn people away, push people away, create additional apathy, Mark. Something like that.
Yeah, I think that you can deal with a few bad things coming out of a franchise that you like that are all canon. Like, I mean, I think that is the one good thing that DC is doing, where all their shit's like pretty disconnected. Even their stuff that's supposed to be connected feels like it's disconnected, and it's really easy to be like, yeah, I thought the Joker was good, but I could take or leave Black Adam. Like, it makes it a lot easier to do that. Whereas with Star Wars and the MCU, their whole thing is like, yeah, the more you watch, the more you understand all the details and stuff. You get to know the characters and the world, but also we don't give a shit about the lore. Fuck you. And it's like, what?
Exactly.
Wait, those two things that's not mutually exclusive. Like, or those things are mutually exclusive. Sorry. Like, if you are going to make something that is connected by shared story elements and shared characters and develops over multiple stories that are connected like spider webs as opposed to like a linear path, you can't then start saying, yeah, but we can't be expected to be held to canon or lore because we need to be creative. And it's like, then make new shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You're always allowed to just make something new. I don't know why all these people don't just say like, hey, yeah, I like Batman a lot. I'm inspired by Batman. I'm gonna make my own superhero who's kind of like Batman in some ways, but with my own spin on it.
It's like the person who did Kenobi complaining that he had to hold to what happened in the original trilogy. Don't do Kenobi.
If we didn't have someone saying that about the Shadow, we wouldn't have Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. It's like you can be inspired by things and then make new shit that's good also. Like, you don't have to overwrite things that are already good with your creative flights of fancy when like you're supposed to be making an adaptation or a sequel. Like, it's not the same kind of thing,
So we're halfway through the show, and I was just wondering if anybody wanted to leave to let another Legion member come in. I know there are a few waiting to come in, and I just don't have the space for it. So if anybody wants to leave, please put it in the private chat, and that way we can contact the other Legionnaires so they have it.
X-Ray Girl's still streaming, so I can hang around. But if someone else really wants to hop in, I don't want to take anyone's spot. But
no, nobody has a spot. I just want to make sure that someone can switch out with others, and that way everybody gets a fair shot at meeting everybody.
Okay.
Hey, Nogreenrocks, I'll jump out if anyone wants to jump in. It was a pleasure getting to stream with Culture and Marc. If I don't get back on later, I'll it was fun time.
Well, thanks for being here. I've been happy to be the subject of all of your guys' memes, and I just appreciate being here. I can't believe Mark and I are your first guests because
yeah, I mean, I was completely blown away by that. Thank you so much, Culture, for
oh no,
yeah.
thank you, and again, thanks. It was a great pleasure to meet you, and you know, I hope you meme Mark to death in the future.
I really did think that X-Ray Girl was on 2 weeks ago. Like because I thought she told me, I was hopping on the Legion of Memers stream. I was like, oh, they have a stream, cool.
She was in the chat.
Yeah, she was.
I didn't realize that. I think I was busy at the time, so like I didn't get a chance to watch it. She just told me about it afterwards, and I thought she meant that she was like on the show. But
yeah, she came to come talk to her feet. She said she heard they were here.
Yeah.
Well, she admired my boobs.
If I can't be on, if I don't get back on later, you can find me on Twitter. Look at all my memes. So, see ya.
See you later.
Later, Al.
Yeah, have a good night.
You guys are awesome. All of you are awesome.
Nobody told me it was
this DermyWermy thing is bugging me. I mean, it's not all right, man. I mean, Az is going to be like showing up in the chat now, being like, "Hey, check out that lady at the bottom there." Oh,
yeah. He gets traumatized in a second.
It all started just
DermyWermy. I got man titties.
You gotta give Az a break right now. He's dealing with the existential crisis that is knowing there's a life-size and pretty accurate-looking Tifa sex doll.
Oh
my!
Yeah, you can put a dick into it anyways.
He's trying to stay strong and not just go full like MGTOW. I'm just gonna bang a robot. Man.
I mean, there was a Futurama episode about that. So.
I look at if you're into toasters, I feel you. You know, I get it.
Hey man, like I think if you're into Tifa, I feel you. I'm married to X-Ray Girl, and I'm considering it.
Wow. Hey, you know, you're no different than that Russian bodybuilder that wed one of those things. So you know.
Yeah, man.
Oh god. Who was that guy they had on Flashcast a couple months ago that like has like a relationship with like 8 of them?
I know who you're talking about.
What the fuck is his name?
J-Dog King Hefner.
How?
Yeah.
What? J-Dog King Hefner. So he's from California. He has basically an army of sex dolls. He swears he does not have sex with them, but he's married to them.
Honestly, that's fucking terrible.
He's married.
Like, I would honestly get the guy's back for having an army of sex dolls. It's like, hey man, if that's just his thing and it makes him happy, and he's got the money for it, he's going all in. You know, go big or go home. I kind of get it. But if he's like, I'm not having sex with them, I'm like, oh fuck you.
Well, he treats them like actual people too, and he takes them around town. He cleans them. He brought them
honestly,
to a
that to me,
family
you're just making it weirder to me that he's not fucking them.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? You're dating them? It's not just like I'm a connoisseur of the artistry of them. It's like, no, I take them out on dates and treat them like they're my wife. But I never have sex with them. Be like, hey man, you know we have sex with our wives, right? That's like part of the deal. That's why we do that.
I'm only
one of the big
reasons.
He is an eccentric character. I'll say that because he also has whole videos where he's judging what the possible scent of the Simpcast crew is.
Okay.
And he
I guess I know what extra
Mark figured out what I was trying to get at, and I don't know if he's talked about X-Ray Girl, but he's talked about Anna, Brittany Venti, and she's on BBC.
Nina.
Well, I've met both
talked
Nina
about her.
and Brittany. I haven't met Anna yet. Although Anna, I probably know the best just because I've been on streams with her and stuff. And I've known Anna now for years. It's crazy. She's one of the first people I met when I started doing things with Geeks and Gamers. And met by, I mean, like on streams, not like in person. But Nina and Brittany, I've met both of them in person. And I got to say, I wasn't tracking their smell. So I don't know. I guess non-specific would be my answer. If he's curious,
does it smell like? I'm guessing it just
not
smells
bad,
like
but not like oh my god, that's a scent I'm carrying with me home. But then again, I'm a married man, so I'm not sure that I'm not sure that my nose is trained to track the smells of other women to a degree of reasonable recall. You know,
I my allergies are so bad right now. I wouldn't even begin to be able to do that.
Well, what he does is he tracks what they eat, where they're from.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
What
So
their
that's like
exercise.
way weird.
that's
This guy keeps getting weirder the more you tell me, man.
He's weird, but it's something that you can't. It's like a train wreck. You want to look away, but you can't.
I mean, like I can almost like, again, I could almost get the back of like a guy who's like, yeah, no, I guess smells are kind of that's the thing that triggers my brain into, you know, intense visceral reactions. So when I look at a woman who I find attractive, well, some people think, oh man, like I wonder what she's like in bed. I think I wonder what she smells like. It's not like, I mean, I honestly don't think that's that strange when you actually think about what he's talking about. But when it's like, no, I actually like mathematically try to break it down based on what they say they eat and like I don't know, the mineral content of their water table and shit. I'm like, no, that's weird, man. Stop. Don't do that.
It's funny because somebody in the chat saying, I think it's Dalu says, that's stalking. It is actually. That's probably the accurate terminology, and it's an interesting thing because like if you're into a chick, some of the stuff that you'll do is like mirroring behaviors. So like you'll follow what they eat, and you'll eat what they eat, and you'll mimic their mannerisms. Mirroring is supposed to also be psychologically supposed to also ingratiate you to the subject that you're mirroring. Like you're on the same wavelength. So
yeah.
In a previous life, Culture Casino was a pickup artist teacher.
Yeah.
Well, he also speaking of stalking, he does have a doll that looks very similar to Anna.
And Culture, what is it you brought up here in the side?
I mean, he probably should have never told anyone that ever.
That's so freaking weird. I don't know what the hell
this is irrelevant now because we're well beyond this. But this is that film. This is that film. We've gone to a different plane entirely. I feel like we've left the planet and we're somewhere else.
Isn't that what keeps floating behind me?
What's now?
I'm talking about the jellyfish from
I love that. Yeah, every once in a while. Yeah, Soldier Spirit's background is moving all the time. So, but no,
I really don't remember in like Fortiche Studios or like Riot releasing a statement about Arcane saying that like Vi is going to be the first teenage gay character in an animated Netflix show or something. Like you can just have gay characters in stuff and not make a big deal about it.
Arcane did it so
and this is a problem, honestly.
Yeah,
for
because
Disney.
it's like you can kind of ignore it if you want, or like really focus on it if it's something that made you happy. Either.
Well, and it's funny because like they just released, I guess also in theaters so they can get some awards consideration, but they just released that new Glass Onion film, right? The Ruin Johnson mystery sequel
big-headed baby head.
Yeah,
that was Netflix too, right?
Yeah, Netflix. Yeah, but they also put that in theaters so they can again get some awards consideration. But
is it premiering on Netflix or is it like because
it's on Netflix now? I believe you can watch it now.
But, I was wondering if like Netflix was doing because that would interest me if Netflix was deciding to do an exclusive theatrical release before putting it on Netflix like that. That would be kind of wild, actually.
They had a movie premiere for it in the theater.
I think actually, that I could understand happening. I think they did that for The Irishman as well, right?
Yeah.
But
where they just had like a night where it's like, hey, it's the premiere of The Irishman. You can go see it in theater, and it'll be on Netflix tomorrow morning or something like that.
Right, but I mean, the goal here is to renew. There is demonstrating the Mouse House's renewed commitment to LGBTQ representation by showcasing the first out teenager in a Disney cartoon feature. That's Ethan Clay. He's voiced by gay comedian.
Did it expire? How long does your support of the gays last before you need to like re-up it?
So his name is Jabuki, and his last name is What He Likes.
Okay, well, okay. Wow, that's wow. Okay, I would not have said you. Wow, you're brave. I would never have said something like that, but okay. So apparently it's a beautiful thing to be a part of, according to the actor that plays the character, and something I wish I could have seen when I was that age. Essentially, there's going to be a relationship between him and another character, as part of this film. And what's funny is they say the quiet part out loud, right? And I think it's Gyllenhaal. Yeah, he said, yeah, it's right here. This is actually from Gyllenhaal. He said, "It's so beautiful to see such a diverse cast and have these ideas be normalized in the world."
Like Jake Gyllenhaal? When you said it's from Gyllenhaal, like what do you mean?
I think that might just be his name.
Well, yeah,
like the actor who plays the character, or like Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah,
in the movie
one of the
also?
Gyllenhaals voices the character.
Like Maggie Gyllenhaal and Jake Gyllenhaal. That's the only two things I know.
Oh shit! Yeah, like that's what I mean. Is it one of them or?
Yeah, it's one of the. Yeah, it's a Gyllenhaal. I'm trying to find the name here so I can give it to you. So hang on a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm guessing if it's a male character, it would be Jake.
My brain is seriously melty right now. Yeah,
it might be
Gyllenhaal.
Jake.
Yeah, it's Jake right here. Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, I think at this point, like, granted, it's not like I've been doing this for quite some time, really. I just kind of totally disconnected from like the marketing cycle, like what actors are saying about the movies they're promoting. Mostly because it's like, well, do they even know what they're fucking talking about half the time? Like, I think they're just like, yeah, no, I'm super happy to be playing this first gay teenager in a bisexual romance film. Wait, what is this? Oh yeah, Disney. Shit, this is the Disney. Fuck. What am I again? Am I black? Is my character black, or is that bad? Okay, never mind. Whatever. Go see it. Like, I mean, I have a feeling that most of them are like that, like the second before the interview starts. And I think another one, if you guys followed like the House of the Dragon stuff with the first couple episodes where they were the showrunner was like, yeah, no, we have a scene where there's a cesarean section, and that was us trying to like, make a real poignant comment on Roe v. Wade, and like other people were like, yeah, that's not what's in the show though. Like,
but also it doesn't make sense because the show was made before that.
Well,
yeah, well, I know, and I think it's very clearly like, well, we know that wasn't what you were thinking, like when you were making it, because there
wasn't celebration when the kid died.
But it's fan dating, right?
It was very sad. Well, and that's the thing. It's so blatantly them trying to be like, oh, hey, look, we're doing this ultra. It's actually I don't know if anyone saw, but Culture and I did Comics Division and I did a stream on the CD Projekt Red ESG video where we like kind of EFAP through it, but we both kind of came to the conclusion that a lot of this is reading like people are being told, hey, you need to explain how your stuff is like ticking off all these boxes for these environmental, social, and governmental things. And then it's a guy looking back on Cyberpunk 2077 and Witcher 3 and then saying, yeah, we had this story with the Bloody Baron, and it was about domestic abuse, and like it just seems like a guy trying to be like, explain how your homework was relevant to the unit that we're currently doing on Black History Month, and you're like, I read Lord of the Flies, and I guess I don't know, Ralph is the black guy because he's the good guy, I suppose. I don't know, like, you know what I mean? It seems like it's trying to post hoc rationalize how the CD Projekt games are already great examples of like social justice stuff. And like
post hoc ergo proctor hoc, indeed.
Yeah, but I mean, the good news is that means that they're probably just paying it all lip service, and it's not gonna like absolutely destroy.
Well, I mean,
hopefully,
but arguably, I mean, it's Cyberpunk 2077. I was playing that before I came on here. I think some of you know I was doing that on my new gaming YouTube channel because I've abandoned Twitch at this point. But I was playing Cyberpunk 2077, and in that world, Mike Pondsmith's world, people change equipment like they change clothes. I mean, if they have the eddies, they can
and I think the game's writing does a good job of showing that in a way that isn't preachy and heavy-handed. It's like you guys have the content there that you can post hoc rationalize it, but I think that it's less like, I think that I was trying to, I guess, look at it from the glass half full side of, I think that's less dire than they're saying, we know that we've been a terrible company and have never made good games. We've made misogynistic, horrible pieces of shit, but now we're going to make real games, just like Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh my fucking God.
And you know what? Here's
an example. Well, I mean, Witcher is coming close to getting its Mass Effect Andromeda moment, and let's see.
Oh yeah, it is.
See which side the coin lands on, right? Like it could be either, and I'm hoping that it's them paying lip service to the stuff, and really, I think the remake they're making of the first Witcher, I like the studio they hired to make it because they could have made it internally and probably done it cheaper that way, but they're hiring a third-party developer that's an indie studio, and the indie studio is totally made up of people who like worked on the first Witcher game. So it's, it's kind of like we're going out of our way to pay the people that like really understand what the original was to like take the Unreal 5 engine and make this kind of clunky old game that doesn't play very well new and more accessible to a modern audience. And I think in the sense of making it a game that doesn't play like shit, doesn't run like crap, and doesn't crash still because it's getting incompatible with modern operating systems. At the same time, they might totally overhaul the story and the writing and make it terrible. But from like the information we know, which is just it's this the Fool's something studio. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, and here's the thing. So Fallout 4 had some retroactive things done to it in a recent patch not that long ago to like change up the story and the characters and the voices
around with Fallout
to make it a little bit more diverse. But I want to speak specifically to Cyberpunk 2077 because Mark, you've played through that a few times because if you're
3
like
times
me,
now.
Yeah. So and I played through way more times than that. But there is a storyline in there that they could just say, well, look at what we just did with this Claire character, the bartender at the Afterlife.
The one with amazing tits.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, like, she's pretty hot. Like, and I think that they did an interesting thing that I heard that apparently they modeled Claire, like the Claire model, starting from the male frame base and then like adding things to it. And I think that's kind of an interesting way to pull that, where it's not just, oh no, it's just a female character. We're just like, surprise, she's trans. And it's like, well, no, they kind of did go out of the way to be like, oh, well, maybe if you see like her shoulder framing and stuff, it does make a little bit more sense. But I think the important thing though is they don't really make too big a deal about it, like, and it does factor into the story because
it fits in Pond Smith's world. It's like look, this exists in this world. This exists in this universe. This dystopia that we're rapidly approaching here, globally right now. But this exists in that world, and so it's not uncommon for this to happen. And
also, Claire's story though is almost like a revenge quest. Like she's trying to get kind of vengeance for her husband who died. And one of the reason her being transgender actually improves the storytelling, like it's used as an element, is because the reason why she's as angry as she is because she's like, he was with me like before my transition, like he always loved me. This is the person that loved me no matter what I was. And you're like, wow, that's kind of nice. It's like, hey,
my best friend and he became my husband. It's a great story.
You don't find out any of this too until after you've already done like 4 or 5 missions.
Most of the quests,
to know her. Like it's like, it's like
I've done that quest like 2 or 3 times now, I believe. I've done it where I beat the race, and then ones that I haven't done it. So it's really interesting finding out all of it.
Well, the thing with Cyberpunk is, it's like, I don't think it's story that's the main problem, or Cyberpunk, CD Projekt Red can tell a good story. I'm not worried about that. It's what Cyberpunk as a game came out in with. It's so the most disappointing game I've ever had the chance to play. I mean, the marketing for that game was, now that I look back on it, a masterstroke. There are so many promises made, and I felt like it completely.
I would totally disagree with being a masterstroke. I think it's the biggest mistake they've ever made in their lives.
No, I mean
because
marketing. I mean,
no. I think their marketing was the biggest mistake they possibly could have made because their reputation is almost permanently destroyed now, and they were one of everybody's favorite developer. Because they made Witcher 3, and Witcher 3 was great. They always do things like with their physical versions, they put like maps of their worlds and art and things like that without making you buy a special edition. They run GOG, which is the only digital store where you buy digital goods, like digital games, where you actually own it. Like you can buy Cyberpunk on GOG, burn 30 Blu-rays of it and hand them out to all your friends. And that's not something that you're stopped from doing by the digital copy itself. They just trust that you won't, because it's like, well, we're giving you the freedom to just own an actual file and not own a license that you have to check in online 20 times a month in order to prove that you really own it, like most online stores do. the DRM free copies that CD Projekt makes are just, yeah, you own this now. It's yours. It's like a pirated copy, but it's legal and it can get updates.
Interesting.
You know, so like, I mean, they got a lot going for them that's good. And I think that launching Cyberpunk and marketing Cyberpunk the way they did was the biggest mistake they ever could have made, because now they'll always be behind the 8 ball. Like every mistake they make is going to be 1,000 times worse.
But in promotion of something that Marc did today, Marc released a video. Or when did you? It was like a day or two ago.
A few weeks ago, actually.
Yeah.
But it's I did like an updated impressions. I actually, it's kind of what I'm doing with God of War. I would say it's like kind of DLC to one of the videos I made for Geeks and Gamers, where I reviewed Cyberpunk in 2020 when it came out. I had a pretty positive impression of it, but I did also like spend most of the video kind of pointing out its problems. And I once revisited it at patch 1.3 in like 2021. But I didn't really think it was very much better, and just kind of got into it again after seeing Edge Runners, the anime, and it's gotten quite a bit better. And there's a lot of improvements that have been made to the game. I also kind of approached the game differently, and the video is in some ways kind of like a journal of my kind of experiences playing this game that I'd already played before in radically different ways to sort of see how much different the experience could be. And they did something good, and the marketing is the thing that it's the reason why there's never going to be a stream I'm on where there's not someone who's like, Cyberpunk was the most disappointing thing ever. Like that's never going to happen, and it's because of that marketing. So that's why I think it's absolutely the biggest mistake they ever could have made.
Mostly focused on Keanu Reeves, just like the center point of all the marketing.
And I actually, usually in my video, I actually go into how I think that the Keanu Reeves aspect may have got them to rush the player to get to Act 2, which is when the Johnny Silverhand arc kind of starts. Yep. Whereas I think the game almost feels more like what it's supposed to be if you play it like if you play it as if you're not dying, you don't have an AI in your head, you're not doing any of the stuff that you actually do in the main story. You're just a mercenary in Night City, and you want to be the best.
Yeah,
you want to be the best mercenary there is. You want to do jobs with every gang. You want to pull them off with all the bonus objectives so that you get more money, so you can upgrade more cyberware, so you can buy more cars, buy more properties. Like playing it like that is kind of a different experience than just playing it as if it's a third-person over-the-shoulder Sony movie game where you tap X to beat boss, you know. And I would say I'm really enjoying God of War, by the way.
And I would recommend because Marc just said what kind of like in the stream of consciousness that I'm is. I would recommend you do the same thing. Don't play the mission that gets you into the past the title card. Like I just did that on my stream. I started that mission because I was boring my audience. I try to use the entire map and get all the side quests, all of the extra gigs. I take out the cyber psychos I can along the way in the area that until I have nothing left to do before I actually start the actual game. Because you're very well prepared for being like a digital warlock or whatever build you choose to be.
Well, and then you can actually do shit like that and not just play it like it's Call of Duty, but you have a double jump. You know, like it's once you actually start fiddling around with the things that make that game unique, the combat actually becomes really engaging. Like it's like, and you can kind of play it almost like a CRPG where it's like you're pausing constantly and selecting your spells, because like the quick hacks it's basically magic, and you can go the opposite direction and play it like it's Max Payne and constantly be slowing down time and killing everyone before they've even noticed you're there because you're moving that fast.
Yeah, because you went Sedabastian on them. By the way, I will say just real quick. I'm sorry, but one more thing to add is that Edge Runners on Netflix brought a lot of people back to the game.
Man, I started playing it again. It's one of the best examples of Netflix is 2 for 2 in the last little bit on video game adaptations that are like best ever tier. Like Arcane is amazing too. Even if you hate League of Legends, watch Arcane. Arcane's really damn good. And
I just watch it for the
Edge Runners is
CG and everything. I'm a real big fan of that kind of stuff. So
I think
Arcane was just fantastic.
Arcane has a similar style to the Into the Spider-Verse, but without the shitty frame rate thing that Into the Spider-Verse does. That honestly infuriates me. I'm just like, man, why did they make this thing look like it's running at 15 frames a second? It's like, oh, it's like anime. I'm like, anime does not look like that, okay, guys? Like, don't tell me that's what anime looks like and that I should like it if I knew anime. I fucking know anime.
Mark, the PC
That's what the
Master
new
Race
Puss in Boots
worries
looks
about
like.
frame rate.
Which, by the way, whoever made that meme of me in like the 100-man fight of Berserk, the Berserk 1997 scene, that's probably my favorite action scene in any anime ever. And I know I don't talk about that a lot, so whoever picked it, you get me.
That was all true pop culture, actually.
Well, I'm surprised because essentially I had like a lot of options. I was like wondering, wait, I know maybe Bloodborne is his favorite game. Then Rogue told me, oh, he likes Berserk very much, and I'm like, okay, I have two options: either the animated movies and the shitty CGI ones, or the old anime. And it's just
that would have been fine. But I mean, the old anime one, I was actually like, oh, this is a cool scene. Even like got X-Ray Girl on Casca's head. I was like,
I just want to point out, we've now gotten so popular, we're getting the sex bots in the chat.
Yeah.
I just
Oh yeah,
You've made it.
They didn't even show up for me last night.
I think I deleted them.
Yeah, you did. But I mean,
good. Yeah.
That's
cool.
That's how you know you're getting big once all the.
Oh
sex
yeah,
bots
exactly.
come
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I was going to say
down a
too,
peg.
culture. I've basically been doing the same thing on Cyberpunk every time I play it. I'm on my 5th one now, and just clearing everything before I start the main story.
You see, I was kind of trying to do that, and I found that I did eventually get funneled into the heist, but maybe it was just because I wasn't driving around and like finding enough stuff yet.
Yeah, the first area is closed off because of the police blockade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, because that's kind of what like I do make the point in my video, because I remember there being a reason why you couldn't just get to level 50 in Act 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Because honestly, I think if you had to, and then just like you hit the game was you hit max level. You hit max level, or like what the requirement was, hit max level, and then you start the story that has Keanu Reeves in it. And the last 20 hours, once at the end game, is like a full-blown movie with betrayals and all these connections to Cyberpunk 2020. And Jackie, who's been with you that whole 30 hours beforehand, dies in your arms, and it's like, man, like that would be nuts. Like they should have just done that. There was some focus grouping happening there where they were like, so a lot of people started but didn't finish Witcher 3.
But see, Mark, to add to that, gosh, I keep cutting everybody off. But what happened was when they got Keanu Reeves on board, they abandoned the original story completely. Gone. They've been working on this game, had this complete story arc already ready, a lot of stuff already built into it. A lot of the side missions, of course, that are there were already developed. And then Keanu came on board, and that changed everything, which could be one of the reasons why the game was undercooked when it was released.
Well, I heard that they only really started working on it in earnest after Blood and Wine came out, like the last Witcher 3 expansion. So when people say like, oh, it was in development for 13 years, it's like, well, it had some concept art 13 years ago. It was like, it was really developed in 3 years. And I think that honestly, like my theory that I hope I'm correct on, I don't know because it's a theory, is that they were having a lot of trouble with their tech. And it was probably because they were running that game on the Red Engine. And the Red Engine is the engine they made Witcher 2 and 3 on. It's the only games that have been made in that engine ever. And they have all the experts on the Red Engine. Like they all work there. So when they're having trouble with the tech, they have nobody to consult with because they're the ones designing the tech and trying to basically solve problems with the bones of the cyborg they're building or android they're building, say, while someone else is like already constructing the muscle. And it's like, well, we got some problems with the bones. It's like, I don't know, fix them. It's like, but we got to call a bone expert. It's like, no, you're the bone experts. So with them moving to UE5, like going to Unreal Engine 5, and I'm no fan of Epic, so I kind of wish it was any other company that makes it, but Unreal Engine tends to be pretty easy for developers to learn from what I've seen. Like there's a reason why that engine is as popular as it is. And say what I will about absolutely hating Fortnite as a thing which exists, it does run very well on pretty much anything. So I can't really hate on Epic for their technology. So I think that, or my hope is that, let's say Cyberpunk Orion or Project Orion, which is the new project that they're developing with the higher ups and writers who are on 2077, but no one else, and everyone else being a new team in North America. And I think Massachusetts is where CD Projekt North America is going to be. And their whole thing is they're already starting work on like the next Cyberpunk game. Like I think when they finish Phantom Liberty, which is the expansion. And the deal is, so then like in Poland, they're going to be working on The Witcher, and in America, they're going to be working on Cyberpunk. And I think that means I'm going to guess Mike Pondsmith is going to be able to be there much more often because he's American. So again, he's the guy that created the original RPG. He seems to still be very on board with like CD Projekt and the game and developing it. And anyone who has any experience with Pondsmith's lore, like it's good stuff, man. Even if you read things that like were written 30 years before the game ever was a thought, like it's pretty much it's funny that it being a tabletop RPG, this is going to sound like the easiest comparison to make, but it is like a Dungeons and Dragons tier of Cyberpunk kind of lore. And that Dungeons and Dragons is like a great example of like classic fantasy. It's like all the tropes that you want are there. Like the Cyberpunk 2020 lore that Cyberpunk 2077 and Edge Runners are based in, it's like the D&D of the Cyberpunk genre. And I think that would be a pretty cool thing for us to be getting more stuff in, as long as the stuff is good. And I think like Edge Runners is a good example of like, hey, there's stuff that you can get out of this universe, man. Like there's a lot of stories that can be told. And
No, you're completely right, Mark. I mean, the Cyberpunk world is a goldmine for storytelling. But I think they did a major blunder in the game's main story. Essentially, after the first couple of missions, they essentially tell you, "Oh, you're dying." They put like a clock over the main character's death, but you could probably do like an infinite amount of side missions.
You can. The ticking clock is a lie. That in my video, I actually use those exact words, and I think that it hurts. I think that it really hurt players' concept of what they should be doing while they're playing it. Exactly. Because when you add that ticking clock in, it's like, oh, we need stakes in this story. And I think that actually they did well with keeping the stakes reasonable, in that I think V fighting to save his or her own life, as opposed to like the fate of Night City depends on us, or like the fate of the universe or the multiverse depends on what we do here. It's just like, no, I don't want to die. Like that's why I'm doing all of this. I just want to live. Like, and I think it's pretty cool, and in that they went with the more low stakes, relatable main scenario. Oh shit! Sorry, this God of War thing. I threw a wyvern into this dragon fight. Anyways, but yeah. So I think that they made a mistake of putting that ticking clock on the player, and it would have been a better bet if the encouragement was. If street cred was the thing, street cred's kind of a world level experience that you gain, which basically gets you access to new side quests, new vendors, and things like that, because people basically take you more seriously. If street cred was the point, and that it was like you need enough street cred in order to get seen by one of these fixtures like Dexter Deshawn or Rogue, or like one of the people that factors into the main story, and most of the game was trying to get that person to notice you, and then they do, and you run the job, and then they kill you, and you wake up and you have Keanu Reeves in your head, and then you have like a 12-15 hour adventure where you and Keanu Reeves are trying to save your life. That would have been really cool. Yeah, but the problem is you can't sell that to normies. And like I don't mean any offense, because like and I really don't, because I understand why normies have the gaming habits that they have. Like the people who want to buy an $80 game, or $80 in Canada, I guess $70 for you guys, and crush it in 6 hours on a weekend. And it's because they're people who are busy. They got video games are a hobby that's pretty low on their list of priorities. They like them a lot. They like spending time with them. They're entertained by them, but they don't really want to dig into them and, really absorb a world. They just kind of want to be like, I want to play Cyberpunk GTA for 20 hours, or 15.
That does remind me of...
I never want to talk to you again.
Yeah, and or then if I'm going to play a game consistently, it's going to be a multiplayer game like Call of Duty or something, where I log on with my friends, hang out with them for an hour, and then I log off, and that's it. And I understand that, and those people are important because they're the lifeblood of the industry. Like they're the ones who are generating the vast majority of the money. But when it comes to like actual game design, it's like, well, but there's a big compromise to the narrative experience that Cyberpunk 2077 could have been, because someone that was on the like marketing department at CD Projekt was like, look, we looked at the trophy data, we looked at the achievement data, and 100 million people started playing Witcher 3. Only 10 million of them finished the main story quest. So we need to make sure that in Cyberpunk 2077, you can just run right through the main story quest if you want. We want to make sure that those normies that picked the game up and said, yeah, Witcher 3 is okay, but I don't see why people say it's so good. So they get to the end of the story and are like, yeah, time for Witcher 4, you know? And because that aspect is important. If you have a story-based game, you want people to get to the end of it if you want to make a sequel, right?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
It's like,
Soldier, you said you had to leave. I wanted to give you an out.
Yep, I'm bouncing out of here, but hey guys, it was great talking to you. Culture, Mark, awesome meeting you guys.
Yeah,
great to meet you. Thanks for having us on. Yeah, we appreciate it. Plus, I'm digging the moving background, my friend.
Good. That comment earlier, I was like, man, I hope that's not annoying.
Just don't get a puppy. That's my thing.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks.
Don't
a lot.
show that FTX sex tape behind you. Then we're good.
So the best joke I ever saw with that one was like, someone really went to jail for a girl that simultaneously looks like a baby and an 80-year-old Russian grandmother. I was like, that's amazing, because you look at her and you're like, well, that's actually true. Look like both of those things equally.
She looks underage and overage all at the same time.
Thanks for joining.
Take care.
That's just when you wrap her in a flag and hump her for glory.
Oh, boy.
You had to take it there, didn't you?
Isn't that the girl with the glasses with the weird teeth or something?
Yeah.
Former
Murata had a tweet. One of the tweets with her basically naked, but everything blocked out. And
saw that. Yeah,
I saw things that I didn't mean.
I think it was like a Photoshop to make it look naked.
I'm okay with not ever seeing that girl naked.
Most of us.
It's not something I feel like is on my bucket list.
If you're that thirsty to see her naked, something's wrong with you.
Yes.
There was some lady that lives a TikTok and put a video up on, and she somehow looked like the granddaughter of the old man in the early Pixar shorts playing chess.
Yeah.
She looked just like that with like actual hair.
That was
like, how do you look like a Pixar
was that
character?
on like Toy Story 2 or something?
Yeah, he was
that was a while ago. I remember that clearly though. I knew immediately what you were talking about when you said it.
Yeah.
Is it the first Toy Story? It
No,
might
it
have
was
been.
the second one when he gets taken and put with
No.
the
I mean
gang.
the chess man, because that was just one of the shorts before the movie. You know how they used to do
that may have been the first one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might have been, because I vividly remembered that the second you said it. Most of those I feel like I kind of forget.
So how long do you think until I catch up with Gary in that meme?
Not sure.
I'm just curious.
I mean, it depends who's older. So, you know, the older one will get tired eventually.
I think Gary's actually about a year older than me, almost exactly.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
He's the one who took a lot of drugs in his time, so maybe he'll get tired. You know, you never know.
Yeah,
we might get lucky.
Gary's probably got me beat though.
Mark, you mentioned completion rate on The Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk. What do you think that number is with Red Dead 2? Because
probably quite high.
I think that's
I would imagine, but
I've played Red Dead
Redemption.
Redemption.
At the same time, here the reason why GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption might have skewed data in that regard is because they have a multiplayer component, whereas Witcher 3 doesn't. So like you don't play Witcher 3 because you want to play Witcher Online, and like there are people who bought Red Dead 2 because they wanted to play Red Dead Online, maybe because whether they still play it or not is also irrelevant in that as far as the statistics go there too, because if they bought the copy and played Red Dead Online for a month, decided it sucked and went back to GTA Online, they're still one of the people who started the game, you know.
Yeah.
We got a few memes just to check out. Just give me 1 sec, pulling them up.
No.
Mark, is this what you're getting for Christmas?
Jenga said, yeah. Legos.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess I was. What's funny is it's a Gundam on FNT. Like the guy whose name is It's a Gundam, who has an Instagram that is just Gunpla, and in the middle of them talking about the Japanese girl who like builds Gunpla with a low cut top, and that's kind of her thing. I'm on my way home. I'm stopped at a light. I text her. I was like, "Honey, you should build Gunpla," and she's like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "What?" I was like,
what? You're on the stream.
I was like, they're talking about it right now. I was like, you're physically there. Like I'm driving a car and like understand what you're talking about. But yeah, no, she didn't quite understand. But I told her it was Gundam model. She's like, yeah, but I've never watched Gundam. I'm like, I think it's more about building the robots. Hey, to be fair, I haven't either. It's a big hole in my anime vocabulary.
I think less.
I was actually
both
Lofty
you and
Pixels was
Exo
telling me to
right
watch
now.
Gundam today. Like,
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm
I
so
think-
happy he's back on Twitter.
Yeah,
Lofty,
same.
I like Lofty
Yeah,
a lot.
it's good to see him back.
Listen,
all-
when
we
Lofty
all
tells
were
you
very
that you need to
happy.
do something, and I agree
Sorry?
with him. When
Well, no,
Lofty
no.
is right, something's wrong in the world.
Yeah, well, no, it's not because like Lofty, he doesn't only have bad takes. He just- I think it's more that you just can't. Lofty is the kind of person that if he tells you something's good, you need to see it before you agree with him, and you also need to not get mad at him if it's not, because it's like, well, sometimes Lofty just likes things for reasons that like most people, I guess, in our sort of sphere of the internet tend to dislike. A lots of those things just don't bother him at all. So I think, and that's kind of important to know going in. But I think he's a really nice guy. He's super fun to talk to, and I think
He's
that
super
he's got a lot of good takes on anime. So
I got to meet him in person. He's super nice. He's a wonderful dude.
I've
He's
not
just a
met him in
moron
person.
sometimes.
And
Well, he has my voice. Remember that.
This is deeply disturbing.
Were you a believer?
I mean,
Culture?
that one is one where you were Nixon. That was pretty good.
Oh, something's very wrong with you guys. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Yeah, it is not a weed.
Yeah.
It's not. There's
Not a
something very
Puma.
wrong with all of you guys.
Oh my!
That's a good one. That's probably the winner, to be honest.
No, there's a better one.
Oh no.
Whoa.
You're welcome.
Cloud made
Oh.
a really, really good one. Speaking of Lofty,
oh,
It's time to deck your halls and jingle your bells.
My.
Welcome, Grant.
Well, that's where Lofty was for all that time.
Gregory.
I think he just got kind of burned out from the Lord of the Rings stuff, and it was the funny thing is I only watched 2 episodes. Actually, the second one I actually only watched because Lofty wanted to talk to me about it because I was kind of out after episode 1.
Well, Lofty's in the.
Hey, in the chat, that's fine. I don't mind if he hears what I'm saying here.
No,
I am
Lofty's
going to end. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But oh god, look at the
The first day he was back, somebody asked him what his opinion was about the last episodes.
But like the thing is though, like I didn't really spend too much time on Lord of the Rings, and it was actually a lot of the episodes of FNT. I was kind of lost just because I didn't catch any of the references they were talking about. But the thing is, I realized that it kicking Lofty off Twitter effectively because he just was kind of like, I need kind of a break from the internet. I'm in constant debates. I was like, man, Lord of the Rings Rings of Power fucking cost me a friend.
I started thinking about that.
That's how bad it was.
Yeah, I know. It was just like I didn't even really care about the show. I wasn't really talking poorly about it, but like I can't talk to Lofty on Twitter anymore. What the fuck?
I missed Lofty.
Yeah,
might
I
have
was
been a-
worried about him for a while.
He might have been a moron. He might have had bad.
Oh gosh,
takes,
come on.
But he's our moron.
I don't.
Yeah, the king of shit takes. And
I love Lofty. I've been on a couple streams with him now, and you know what? At least he's got some arguments for his opinion.
He does try to justify his opinion. He will never just say you're wrong because I like this, therefore it's good. Like he's never made that kind of argument to me. He's always tried to make a case, even when it's for like one thing I even said actually earlier on the stream that I thought Multiverse of Madness was the worst MCU movie. Lofty loved it, and we talked about it, but I was nice because I think Lofty's nice, and I'm like, okay, I don't agree with you, but I'm gonna still treat you like a person.
And, on the midweek hump, I'm dropping that show as an ad. Yes, midweek hump with Shagsworth, Sheep City, and Horror Amarada, and myself.
Yeah.
I was.
Is that on
sick.
Wednesday?
Yeah, every Wednesday.
Oh yeah,
night.
I'm gonna be on that at the third week of December. I believe.
nice.
So neat. Awesome, man. This is gonna be great. But
Yeah,
Lofty,
and Horror Marauder and I hung out in Orlando, and they're good people.
Yeah,
I got to hang out with him at the Boomer House. We had an amazing stream. Holy cow!
But I missed the one with Lofty. I really wanted to hang out with Lofty. I have not had a chance to speak with him yet, which really sucks because he's the one that kind of taught me in the beginning of how to do everything. So I was so sick. I was really sad.
I must have misheard what you said. You haven't had a chance to sleep with him?
Yes, I haven't had a chance. Lofty, when I'm seeing you, I'm sleeping with you. I don't care how much.
His profile picture is not what he looks like. That's Noodles from Gorillaz.
Oh, okay, my bad. He's just catfishing me.
He's a dude with a beard.
Well, you gotta wait till the recording's done with him.
You are attempting so many memes with that sentence.
Yeah.
Lofty is
be
not
careful you
in
don't
fact
get
a small
Harambe's.
Japanese girl who kills guitar. Like is amazing at guitar.
But
plays
yeah,
guitar.
so we have like 15 minutes before.
Noodles from Gorillaz. Like his profile picture is from the animated band that the guy from Blur does, Gorillaz. The guitar player is Noodles, who's I believe an 11-year-old Japanese girl.
That doesn't sound good.
Well, it's just she's supposed to be like in the.
All right.
Like, or at least was in the first album. I don't know if they've aged her up since.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really kept up with Gorillaz.
I feel good though.
Yeah. Incorporate some good feelings. Deep cut. If you know, you know.
But we're about 15 minutes till we're closing up. So I just want to make sure we thank our guests for being on. It is amazing to have you, especially being the first guests we've had. We've got a few kinks to work out, but I really appreciate you guys being here and being so patient with us.
Great honor. Are you kidding? I was thrilled. I think I can only speak for me. I mean, Marc may be hating all of us right now, but you wouldn't know because he's Canadian.
Yeah.
That's my secret too.
And massive shout out to the mods for getting those sex bots out of chat and just making sure that chat's a welcoming place. I really appreciate what you guys do. I know it's a pain in the butt to do it in the middle of the day, but I appreciate you guys being here. And we did not get to almost any of the topics that we need to talk about, so I am very happy about that.
I think honestly, I'm a tangent king. That's my fault. I think it's one of the reasons why Jeremy never has me on Tuesday night's main event. Because he's like, he's like, if you come on, we're gonna be streaming till like 3 a.m. So
that's
like,
fine with me, man.
I'll wait around on my own streams until Mahler invites me on EFAP.
I loved having you both on.
Yeah, it was great talking about Cyberpunk. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Watch my new video.
Also, for everybody who's watching right now, I just want you to know the Legion of Memers Spotlight meme video is out. If you guys want to go check that out, if you guys put out any memes that were on the show, it's on there. I finished at like midnight, so it was pretty late. I don't know if people saw it, so I just wanted to make sure everybody goes and sees it and enjoys it. Yeah, and that's all I'm doing for promoting. I'm too tired for that.
Did you do a 24-hour
Check out the
stream?
Legion store as a TeePublic.
Yes, give me 1 sec. I'm putting the banner up right here. Yes, TeePublic Legion of Memers, where you can get the Legion of Memers shirt
mug.
I'll bring it up right now. I'm going very slow. I apologize. And I think the most popular one was actually the Legion stamp.
Really?
You guys should probably talk to Flagrant Triggers Cam. I don't know if you know him, but he did X-Ray Girls shirts for the Goated and the Hot D, and they're awesome.
Right.
Like really high quality shirts. They fit well. Like I actually like wearing mine. I'm like, oh, this isn't like, okay, I bought this shirt because I wanted to support the people who made it, but also it's just going to be in my closet until I forget that it's there, and then I'm going to give it to Good. Do you guys have Goodwill? Is that a thing that it's like
Yeah,
Village?
we Goodwill.
Yes.
Except like
okay,
the
then.
proceeds don't actually go to everything.
Well, and it's not the proceeds. You donate clothes, and then people can buy the clothes for like stupid cheap because it's like the idea is you're donating it so that people who have like not a lot of money have a place to shop and can get people secondhand things they don't want. And I find that I can't tell you how many YouTuber like t-shirts I've had. It's just like, yeah, okay, I guess I'm just gonna get rid of this because as much as I like this person, I'm never gonna wear this shirt. Whereas like if the shirt actually fits well, it's like, oh, this is a cool shirt. It's got a cool like piece of art on it. It's funny, and it actually makes me look good. So yeah. Let's go. And
oh, you mean like the Legion of Memers approved by the Legion stamp shirt? Yeah, I love that one too. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Mark, I've been wanting to
Hey,
ask
Nick Weiser.
Hey, Nick.
You're quite the Dark Souls like expert. I would say you've probably played every Dark Soul-esque game.
I mean, yeah, there's some holes in that if I was going to go for that title, but I played all of the ones made by From Software. I guess I can say that for sure.
Okay. Well, as a complete noob to those games, which one would you recommend for someone starting? The least difficult one, perhaps.
Honestly, probably I wouldn't. The least difficult is kind of a hard answer to give, but I would say the most approachable one is probably still Elden Ring. As much as there's people who will say Elden Ring is one of the hardest ones, and that can be true, but Elden Ring also has the most options for the player. So if you want, like, if you're like, I'm going to play Elden Ring and I'm going to beat it as like a tanky knight character with a shield and a big sword, it's like, okay, you're going to have to get close to every enemy though. So like be ready to do some stuff. Whereas if you're more flexible in what kind of build you can go for and like don't mind doing, I don't know, like a magic build, or especially if you do a dexterity build and get the Rivers of Blood katana, that's like a win button, basically. It's like it's the best weapon in the game, or at least it was. But there's lots of things you can do to make Elden Ring a lot easier, up to and including summoning other players. Whereas all of the other games, you kind of have to just get good at them in order to stand a chance. Whereas Elden Ring is one where you can kind of you can sort of find your way around problems a lot more easily.
Well, I'm not scared of it being difficult because I played Ghost of Tsushima on like Ultra Plus.
Okay, yeah, then you should probably be alright. Honestly, you might end up really liking Sekiro, man. If you like the hardest difficulty of Ghost of Tsushima, actually, then I'd say Sekiro is the one you should play. It's actually my favorite one too. Like my
no, I hate that game. I hate that game so much. I didn't even pass the first.
Ghost of Tsushima?
Yeah.
No, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Okay.
I can get my ass.
Yeah, Sekiro is From Software. It's the same people who make Elden Ring and Bloodborne and Dark Souls, and it's there. I always say that it's the people who made Dark Souls making a Ninja Gaiden game, and Nioh is the people who made Ninja Gaiden making a Dark Souls game.
The only thing I found intimidating is like the
rage quit, man.
You really have to learn the parry system in it, like the timing, blocking, attack. You almost got to think of it as it's got as much in common with Guitar Hero as it does with Dark Souls, because every enemy combo has a pattern and a rhythm, and it's about tapping the left bumper button or the L1 button in time with that rhythm. And once you start doing that, basically your defense, like, so you're parrying, you're blocking, your defense is increasing the enemy's stagger bar, and when their stagger bar is full, it's a one-hit kill. So basically it's a sword combat system where even when you're defending an enemy onslaught, you can be effectively getting ready to kill them. It's really cool, and I like it a lot. But the only reason I would not call it the objective best From Software game, and would still it's harder. I'd say probably Dark Souls 1 is likely the easiest thing to say, but I would make an argument for Elden Ring being designed with a high element of quality to it. But Sekiro is my personal favorite just because I like its system very much. But it's not nearly as flexible. So for Sekiro, you just have to get good at that combat system, and that's it. Like you're a ninja, you have a katana. Go. Yeah. Whereas in the other ones, it's like, oh, you can be a wizard or a knight or a rogue or a thief or I don't know, a priest that does like blood magic. Like, what do you want to do? But Sekiro, you don't have that luxury. It's just
Well,
get good with the sword.
not really the difficulty that's intimidating. I think more so it's like a system, like which armor piece do I wear? Which sword do I
And there's
use?
none
How
of
do you
that in
upgrade it?
Sekiro. No,
Okay.
nothing like that in Sekiro at all. The only build choice that you have in Sekiro is which sub weapon you want to use and which modification you want to put on it. So like, do I want to use the axe, and do I want to have the axe become fiery, or do I want to throw firecrackers that distract the enemy, and then do firecrackers that distract the enemy and add poison to it? Or it's things like that. It's not like, oh, I want to make a samurai build and then like do things so that's all heavy armor. It's like there's no armor at all. You have like some ninja robes and that's it. Like the whole game.
You got the same thing for Skyrim with like the armor sets, the weapons, the magic. Like you can do whatever you want with those types of like materials that you use in the game.
Yeah. And that is it. That's a lot of what I like in game design, when there's flexibility to it. It's sort of the reason why I do make the distinction with the Sekiro versus like Dark Souls Elden Ring thing. It's just because I think that flexibility and the ability for the player to say, okay, here's the challenges you've presented to me. I'm going to use the tools you've put in front of me, figure out which ones I like, and then decide my own solution. And I love what happens with that in God of War Ragnarok's combat. But I find that the things that are pissing me off about the game the most is when it kind of railroads you into like, oh, well, now you're paddling this canoe forward and you need to be going to this place. So even though you're passing by like a troll that's throwing rocks at you, you could park the canoe and then chuck your spear at him. But it's like, no, you have to find the place you're actually supposed to dock your canoe so that you can come into the entrance where you have a staged fight with them. It's like, man, so let me see the troll and start fighting the troll. Man, like, let me choose how I want to tackle this situation. Whereas I find the cancer I've been noticing in a lot of big budget, super award winning games is hyper linearity and just removing any input from the player as far as like how things.
Well, because that's games journalists, right? The games journalists are the ones that are poisoning the games because they can't play them, right? Because they're not really gamers. I mean, they're just journalists.
They can't.
Yeah, and I don't even think it's a can't. It's that they don't want to. It's like, no, I don't want to take the time to actually like pick this game apart and see what it really is like.
Even though it's their job.
Marketing, it's just like, no, I want to experience the marketing version of the product and move on. I want it to be like going to see a movie. I'm a video game critic. That's just like being a movie critic, right? I should just be able to watch 5 movies on a Tuesday, write 5 articles, and maybe a 6th one about how one of them's racist.
Well, it's like the Corrine said. It's like the Corrine says. They all wanted to be political writers, you know, for papers and stuff, and they just got stuck in this because there was no other job for them.
For me, it's kind of the opposite because I stream on Rumble, and I'm just like, I don't want to have anything to do with politics, really. I just want to play video games. But I play on Rumble, people are like, hey, like you don't really talk about like political stuff. I'm like, yeah, because
we only cover politics when it's a part of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Like, if it's not
well, and I mean, I wouldn't criticize other people doing it. It's just I don't think I have particularly well developed takes on anything political. I have some ideas of what I think, and I could probably have some political discussions with people, but I would never be trying to preach a correct line of thinking to anyone when it comes to pretty much any political issue, I would say.
Oh, the Canadian comes out again.
Well, but, I mean,
you gotta be polite about it, don't you know?
But if you're talking about though, like my like Canadian politics, like what choice do I have really?
Yeah,
we're in a situation where no matter what happens, our same guy keeps getting elected every time.
You're also in the military.
I'm a federal employee, so I can't. I can't really speak ill of our chain of command, and at the top of our chain of command is our government. So is what it is. But
so before we get Marc in trouble,
I'm just not the kind of guy that when someone's like, "Hey, what's your thought on C12959 Delta?" and I'm just like, tell me what the thing is, and I'll give you my thoughts on the thing. Like I've not spent the time. I've spent the last. Hold on, let's look at my game time here. Here, do I actually have to start saving over things? That sucks. I thought this game was going to give me unlimited save. 60 slots is the answer. 65 hours and 47 minutes playing God of War Ragnarok since November 9th. I don't have time to be dealing with fucking Canadian politics that we get an election every 10 years on.
Yep. I don't want to either.
It's not on my radar of like things I should be giving a shit about. I'll vote. I go and vote every single time there's an election. and I do some reading right before that. But I'm not like politics are my life type dude. Like
Hey,
nothing
well,
wrong
you
with
are more reasonable.
I'm personally not.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You are more reasonable than most.
Yeah. Try to be.
So we're gonna start doing outros for the show because we're past the almost past the 2-hour mark. I just again thank you guys for coming on. I'm blown away that you guys wanted to come on. Like it's freaking amazing. We started a couple months ago, and everything has just blown up since. So thank you.
Memes are an important art form, man.
And everybody,
I'm not even kidding. Like I'm not trying to be funny or anything. Like that's I mean that seriously. Like,
they help remind people that they're not the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Well, it also brings a laugh to people, and especially in these dark times.
It's a good comedic format.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not a comedian.
Well, no, but I mean, you are in a way. Like, I mean, you're a comedic artist, or like I don't know, like you could.
Hey, Chrissy, I'm going on stage
culture
next.
Cartoonist. Well, no, you're not a stand-up comedian. That's a different thing. Like, I mean, I technically one of the things I do.
Memes.
Playing video games is one of the things I do for work, but I'm not a pro gamer. Like, it's not like, okay, like that means I'm going to go to Korea and win a StarCraft tournament. It's like, no, they're going to smoke me.
Stop being modest.
But my whole thing is there's different realms of the same overarching mediums, right? And if comedy is a medium, if comedy is a genre, then memes are a medium in which you can express that genre pretty well. I mean, there are political memes too. It's just fun. They end up being either really depressing, overly controversial, or really boomerish. Mostly boomerish. Like
sometimes they can be pretty damn funny.
Well, I mean that if they're going for funny, but I think the ones that are supposed to be like, now think about every time you did this, like the really wordy ones, it's like, oh man, so powerful. It's like everyone who comments so powerful on that is definitely on Facebook, and they're probably over 50.
All right, Drew, we're going to start off with you for your outro. Do you have any new projects coming up?
Not particularly. I suppose I'll have to just probably listen to a lot more shows. As you all know, I'm True Pop Culture 7. I make animated highlights of different shows. Friday Night Tides, Coca-Cola Drinkers. I mainly do every Fame Pause animated highlights.
Yeah.
So there's that. Loads of little clips on my channel. High on 1,000. And I wanted to thank Marc for recommending me thingy Secure that Shadow Side twice. I'll definitely check it out. Thanks for the recommendation. So I'm pretty sure that was your 2019 Game of the Year, right?
Yep.
So at least, yeah. So can't wait to get my hands into that. All right, as always, it's been a pleasure to be on the show. Thanks for having me, Sips.
Yeah, of course, man, of course. Devil Made Me Do It.
I'm Devil Made Me Do It on Twitter at Nalek3. Thank you for having me, and thanks to our guests for coming on. Giving us a something to meme. And I didn't get to make any for Marc, but I'll get you when you're on the midweek hump.
Cool. Oh, you got about a month. So.
And Dermy.
What's up, everybody? I've been kind of quiet today, to be perfectly honest. I'm still getting all put back together after my 24-hour stream last night of Pokemon Violet. I have criticisms for that game that I'll be saying tomorrow over on the round table with Jed, Hollywood Scholar, and all of them. And everything channel should be back up and running Monday. Everything power went out, things went all haywire. I haven't been putting out memes. It's been a week. I'm ready to get back into the gear of everything, so yay.
Yeah.
I'm tired. Thank you for having me on.
And the peasants rejoiced. Yay.
Yay.
CJ.
You can find me on YouTube at Forgotten Music. I do have a Bandcamp link, so I've got my first electronic music album up on Bandcamp. So if you're looking for some tasty digital beats, you can find me there. Of course, on Twitter at ForgottenOneMusic, making memes and making fun of people. So Yeah, I really appreciate Marc and Culture, you guys being on here. It's a great boost to the Legion, and I really do kind of like the cyclical nature of us memers and the streamers, and being able to help you guys make content while we make content, and it makes everybody up their game, which I really enjoy.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. I'm so appreciative that all the people that we're memeing, they take it and like the way it's meant to be, instead of being like, oh, they made me a woman, I don't like this. You know what I'm saying?
That's how you that's how you can tell if people understand the internet or not. If they see a meme of themselves and they're like, oh, have you seen this meme someone made of me? It's like, well, I mean, did you say something that you could see people considering kind of funny or kind of stupid, or like, hey, is there a reason why you were memed? Why were you memed? And it's like, okay, well, I did this thing, went on this show, and there was a lot of pushback on it. It's like, okay, so the people who disagreed with you are gonna meme you, and if it's funny, chuckle at it, like it, retweet it with an argument, or be like, this is entirely inaccurate, totally false. Like you can lean into things in a way that's fun, and like, but there's some people who, the second you poke fun at them a little, they're just like, I'm neurodivergent and very sensitive to certain triggers. One of those triggers being when people made fun of me because I was made fun of in school. They made fun of me.
Feels like I'm back in
Were you ever made
university.
fun of? Have you ever been made fun of in
assholes.
school? I was in 4th grade and was called a fatty. Okay, do you know what that feels like? It's like, okay, dude, like everyone was. Fuck off. Like, stop. It doesn't make you special. It doesn't make you a bad person either. Like it's just neutral. It's a thing we go through.
Try being a nerd in the 80s and 90s.
Marc, the fatty cyborg.
I was actually in quite good shape in 4th grade for the thing about being a child martial artist. But anyways, so I'm Marc the Cyborg. Like I said, I make YouTube videos, and I stream on Rumble pretty much every day. I might be doing some more streaming tonight. I'm working my way through God of War Ragnarok on Give Me God of War difficulty. I'm actually fighting the same dragon I've been fighting the entire show right now. I've been getting him down to 20% health though, so we're doing better than we were. As for places you can find me, rumble.com/Marc the Cyborg, youtube.com/Marc the Cyborg, and if you really like me, $2 gets you a month-long support for my locals, where I give away a bunch of Steam games, and I don't know, I might one day post some feet pics, who knows. Maybe of me, maybe of X-Ray Girl, but I hear that they're a hot commodity, so I would be stupid to leave that money on the table. Oh, also, I told someone that I would say Misfit Gaming apparently is a guy who wants to start making some memes with you dudes, and I don't know, I guess check some of his out, because he's one of my local supporters, and he's very, very nice about showing up at my streams and making it so that my Rumble chats, which are generally pretty mellow, actually have something going on in them. So yeah, thanks, Misfit.
Yeah, for sure. Misfit, do me a favor. DM me on Twitter. Me as in Nogreenrocks. And then we'll have a conversation about it, and we'll see what you put out, and see if you can join the Legion of Neighbors. And once you've gone through there, we'll put a vote, and then hopefully you can join. So,
right on.
Culture Casino.
Hey, everybody.
That is really good.
I like
that.
Enjoy my favorite coffees.
Yeah.
Just like my buddy here does, just like Jeremy the Quartering does. So thank you, Jeremy Hambley, for giving us the opportunity to meme you. You're a good dude. I had a lot of fun. I didn't anticipate having anything but fun, and you guys met and exceeded my expectations. We had a good conversation, and it was great to see Marc again. Marc's a good dude.
Yeah,
and,
good to see you
all of you very, very talented humans in the chat, and everybody that's been here on the stream. I appreciate you. And
boom, beat the dragon. Sorry, Culture. Hold on, I got to tap X to actually kill the fucking thing. God damn it. Fuck you, PlayStation. Okay, I got it. I put down my controller to try to show you guys the death animation, and then it's like, oh, tap X to actually kill. It's like, fuck you. I beat this battle that I've been fighting for the last hour and a half. Probably longer.
Thank you for being your Culture.
Yeah. Anyway, no worries. All right.
Yeah, there you go.
Well done there, Marc.
You couldn't
And just for the record, let's press start right here. Let's go to settings, go to gameplay. There's the difficulty right there, everybody.
You might want to hit save.
God of War.
I am going to save it, yes.
All right,
but it's a
sorry
PlayStation
about
game,
that.
so it auto saves every 4 seconds.
Anything else you want to push?
It's fine. I got nothing to push other than my channels. Of course, check them out. I think that you will be excited to watch what I've got going on over there.
Just a super serious
I can't wait for you guys to do some more memeing on Monday over on Yelling at Parked Cars on Comics Division's channel. And thanks to all of you guys that participate on the 6-minute daily streams every weekday. And I got to hang out with Marc and X-Ray Girl soon, so I'm gonna have to hit them up as well. So thank you guys so very much for allowing me on here and for and not making fun of all of the weird stuff that happens on my screen. So I hope you guys have a wonderful.
Honestly, I glanced down and I thought that was Chris Gore rolling around with Lashana Lynch. I was like, "Whoa, go Chris!"
Yeah, but everybody have a wonderful weekend. If you haven't already, try. It's good. You should do that. Anyway,
Oculus.
Yep, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I only make memes from Friday Night Tights. And Culture, I mean, you're a great guy. I love you. I love your meat. I make fun of you. I love your beard so much. It's so cute. And that's the reason I call you an Emperor Tamarin, because you have that cute baby beard. That's what you have.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Yep.
Hey, Commander Phil.
Hi, you can find me on Twitter. I also have an Instagram. And yeah, thanks for having me on, and thanks for all of our guests. Sorry, I'm still nervous at this. Thank you.
Yeah, and I've got to apologize to Commander Phil because he was one of the ones who was going to come to the meetup X-Ray Girl and I were going to do at the Toronto Fan Expo. That was the weekend after the Vegas meetup, and we both got COVID. So
yeah, it's all good, dude. Nice to finally meet you.
Down for the count.
Hey, Marc, is it your birthday?
No.
Oh yeah, I mean the meme is
Oh, okay.
Well, and the meme is you say happy birthday, Marc, but you super chatted Azur Garrett, and specifically Azur Garrett because if you super chatted X-Ray Girl, I actually would get that money, kind of. So it's like you say happy birthday, Marc, and then give money to someone who's not me. It's like,
got it. I'll do that tomorrow for Az.
Everyone super chat me on Az's birthday, please. I need revenge.
Oh, Jay got on the stream.
Wait. Oh. No, that's I'm like, hold on a second. And I'm just being an idiot. Thank you for that.
You let us on the stream, so.
Well, my name is Superman. If you wasn't scared of Nogreenrocks or Nogreenrocks on Twitter, I am the creator and founder of the Legion of Memers. Come by every midweek hump on the Shagsworth channel. I'm always on there unless I'm sick. And come enjoy these Saturday streams. They really kind of let you take a load off and relax a little bit. And do me a favor, if you guys are watching, go to the YouTube and watch the meme spotlight video. They're pretty popular, and I want you guys to enjoy people enjoying your work. So yeah, thank you everybody for coming. And again, thank you to the mods, thank you to the guests, and thank you to everybody on the panel. So yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Adios, everybody.
Bye.
Say goodbye, puppy.
I'm fucking right.